and welcome to Stage Screen and In Between. I'm Helen. Tonight we're at Napper Tandy's for a very special event. It's called Help Glenn Bring Indy Home, and it has to do with helping Glenn bring a service dog, Indy, short for Independence, home with him to help him with his
PTSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome.
Yes, and a lot of veterans suffer from that. Now, you served in the Afghani and the Iraqi war, right? So you have experiences that run through your mind and create a really uncomfortable living situation for you. And most veterans have that, don't they?
A lot of veterans do. Since the Afghani and Iraq wars, over 500,000 veterans have been diagnosed with PTSD.
Now, personally, how does that affect you? Do you have nightmares? Do you have flashbacks? What is it that you're upset by?
Yes, you have nightmares, anxiety issues, depression issues, flashbacks come and go. You can't sleep sometimes. It's tough to meet people, talk to people. You lose contact with people. You isolate yourself. It's tough.
Yeah. Now, how long have you been out of the service?
Almost a decade now.
And you're still suffering from the after effects of being in the war?
Yes, I am.
Right. So now how will having Indy help you, the service dog?
Well, Indy is trained as a service dog, as a companion. She's trained to break me off of anxiety attacks, wake me up out of bad dreams, help me from every day-to-day duties. She can come to work with me, come to restaurants with me, go to the gym with me. She can be by my side the whole time and help me with my issues.
Yeah. Now, how long is the training process for this?
Training process is usually a year and a half per dog, and Indy has about 5 months left.
Now, she's a very special kind of a retriever. As a matter of fact, I'd never heard of this kind. Can you tell us what kind of retriever she is?
Well, she's actually a Labrador. It's a fox red Labrador, and their breeder is from Northern California.
Okay, but a Labrador is a Labrador retriever, so it is a retriever, right?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah.
Okay, so now she's trained by Tackett, is that correct?
Tom Tackett with Patriotic Service Dog Foundation. Okay. Yes.
And that's over in California, right? So she has to fly back there?
Yes, she flies back to California in a few days.
So in the meantime, you don't have any other dog?
No, she's the only one, and she's being trained specifically for me and for my needs.
Okay, now, so then you had to fill out a list of what you need, right? And then does she have to, do you have some kind of a training with her once she's done with the program to make sure that she's doing what she's supposed to do for you?
Well, actually, this dog here has been being trained since 8 weeks old, so she's very well trained, and I fly out to train with her as much as I can.
That's what I want to say. There has to be some kind of a bond.
Yes, and we create the bond. We create what we need, the issues that I deal with, and how the dog can help me with them. And I have an organization flying me back and forth to California to train with the dog.
Okay. Now, a lot of veterans suffer from this, and they actually, 22 veterans a day commit suicide, and they have a new slogan, 22 to 0. They want to make the number of veterans committing suicide down to 0. Am I right with that?
Yes, that's correct. The Patriotic Service Dog Foundation's slogan is 22 to 0, and so far every service dog they've given to a veteran, none of them have committed suicide.
So it's a long training process. So is there a waiting list for veterans to get these dogs?
Yes, there is a waiting list, but it's also an interview process. You have to be able to go through this interview process and make sure you qualify for a dog.
You have to qualify for a dog. So you have to meet certain criteria, in other words, for you to get the dog, right? And now you'll have that dog forever?
Yeah, come March, April, she should be tested out. Once she's tested out, she's my dog forever.
Oh, okay. So now, being that you live on Long Island, right, everybody needs a car and they go around in a car, so I'm sure she has to love going in the car too, right?
Oh, she loves going everywhere with me. So far, I haven't found one place she doesn't want to go. Yeah.
Isn't that wonderful? That's a good thing. Is there a website where someone can find out more about this?
It's Tackett Service Dogs, or the Patriotic Service Dog Foundation. So just look that up online, you'll find it no problem.
Thank you so much, Glenn, and best of luck with your new dog, Indy. I'm sure that you're excited about getting her, and it's going to be very good for you.
Yes, I'm very excited, and thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome.
Avoidance, startled responses,
lack of feelings, poor self-esteem, negative self-image, hypervigilance, depression, hopelessness, apathy, physical pain, mistrust, communication problems, stress, isolation, rage, irritability, and frustration. Living with PTSD is exhausting for us veterans. I found this excerpt that I want to read that one of my Marines sent me a while back about PTSD. I'm tired of yelling, I'm tired of being sad, I'm tired of pretending, being alone, being angry, I'm tired of feeling crazy. Stop, Indy. Alright? I'm tired of being stuck. I'm tired of needing help, I'm tired of remembering, I'm tired of missing things, of being different, I'm tired of missing people, I'm tired of feeling worthless, I'm tired of being empty inside, I'm tired of wishing I could start all over, I'm tired of dreaming of a life I can never have, but most of all, I'm just tired of being tired. My Marine sent me that. It really touched my heart because a lot of us guys feel like that. Now, the purpose of this fundraiser tonight is to raise awareness. Since Afghanistan and Iraq wars, over 500,000 veterans have been diagnosed with PTSD. Out of those 500,000 veterans, 22 a day kill themselves. I don't accept that. As a vet, I won't accept it. I got to do what I can. Since I've been out of the service for almost a decade now, the overall awareness of the impacts of PTSD by the VA have improved slightly. I mean, I remember going there 10 years ago, it wasn't good. Going there now is a little bit better. However, people like Tom Tackett and the organization Patriotic Service Dogs give me hope that we can get better. The acknowledgement of Tom's organization and the effects of PTSD on the effects of PTSD for veterans allows him to effectively and compassionately provide life-changing support. Between the amazing staff he has compiled and the way they train the dogs, it lets me know that with Indy by my side, I can finally have peace. And that's why we're here. With what I'm going through, I know I can never be the same person I was, but I'll try and enjoy the person that I've become. And just to give you guys a quote from from the most famous Navy corpsman I know right now, Marcus Luttrell. No matter how much it hurts, how dark it gets, or how hard you fall, you're never out of the fight. Now, I'd like Tom Tackett to come up here and say a few words. Tom, where are you at? He's in the back. Once again, thank you so much for coming tonight, doing support for this organization. We want to try and get veterans these dogs. That's our goal. So once Tom makes his way up. Once again, thank you very much for coming out tonight. Thank you.
Well, thank you everybody for coming out. This is really way more than I imagined. Since we've been here, my wife and I came out yesterday, and the people in New York have been fantastic. So it's been just amazing. So I'll tell you a little bit about the foundation. How it got started is our group had been training dogs. Gosh, we've been training since '77. But we got into service dogs about 6 years ago, and we first got started. My training director, Nikki, and I started training these dogs for these veterans that started coming to us for free. We donated our time because they obviously didn't have the money to really do it, and we weren't about to just turn them away. So for a couple of years we were doing that, and then friends saw what we were doing and said, you know, you can't keep doing that. It's just, you know, it's what you do for a living. So we want to help. So they came up with the idea of starting a nonprofit, a foundation called, and we named it Patriotic Service Dog Foundation. And it was originated to help Tackett service dogs be able to provide and train more dogs so we could do a lot more and better. And so it's starting to work out, it's starting to come around, and nights like this really make it happen. Yeah. So thank you.
So anyway, I don't know what else to say. I wasn't planning on being up here. We really do appreciate it, and our slogan is 22 to 0. And like Glenn said, 22 veterans a day commit suicide, and our goal is to make that 0. And so far, every veteran that's gotten a dog has not committed suicide. So we're on the right track. Meeting Glenn has been a real treat. Great guy. And meeting the family is just amazing. So again, just coming here to New York has been very special for my wife and I, Terry. And we want to thank you again for coming out and supporting us. Really appreciate it.
We have with me now Tom Tackett from Tackett Service Dogs, and he is the trainer that is going to help Glenn get Indy back here.
Yes. How you doing?
I'm fine. And you run your school out of California, is that correct?
Yes, we do. It's Orange County, California.
Yeah. So now it takes quite a bit of time to train these dogs. How do you know you have the right dog to work with?
Well, we do an evaluation on the dogs, whether it's a puppy or an adult, and there's several temperament tests that we do, and what we basically look for is a dog that's very friendly, social, outgoing, and very comfortable in any environment.
Yeah. And they have to be intelligent, right?
Oh yeah, right, that's part of it.
So now, is there different training for the different needs of the veterans? I mean, do you train every dog the same, or is it unique?
Well, we do have our standard tasks that we teach the dogs.
Give us an example. One would be car rides, right?
Well, that's not a task. What determines a service dog is they need to perform a minimum of 3 tasks, meaning for PTSD, what we do is we teach the dogs to block, which means they will stand in front of the person when they say block, and which gives them a buffer so the people don't get too close to them. We also teach them to cover me. So when we say cover, the dog comes around, sits on the right side, facing and covering your 6, covering your back. So if you're at the ATM or checking out at a register, nobody will approach you too closely from behind. Okay? Stand and brace, so if they're having any kind of balance issues, then the dog will stand and lock up and brace, so if you fall and stumble, they'll pull you up. We teach them to turn on lights. We teach them to retrieve items, and we also teach them to what's called interrupt. So if a person is having a nightmare or a flashback, then the dogs will come and interrupt them and get them out of that and bring them back to here and now.
I would think that's very important that they could, would be able to do that.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Yeah.
That's important.
Now, do you work, did you say, does your wife help you with this? Are you a team?
Well, Terry doesn't help me, but as far as the training part, but we do have 4 trainers, and it's a nice staff of trainers that we do, and we.
How many dogs do you train at one time?
Right now we have 24 dogs in the program.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it really.
How much property do you have?
Well, we have a little over an acre, but we're fortunate right now to have a really great training facility. We have 52 acres accessible to us and a really great training field. It's really nice. Yeah, really lucky. What's nice about that too, is that when the guys and gals come out with PTSD and they come out to that property, they come out there and it's really peaceful. And we're up on a bluff, and it's real quiet and peaceful, and it really helps them with a lot of issues as well.
Yeah. So now, when you meet your clients, the veteran, and you know that you have a particular dog, do you say, gee, such a dog would be good for this particular person? Is it a pairing like that?
Yes, that's the important part of it, is matching, making a good pair. Okay, the match is what makes it work, and the bond. But they need to get along, and that's why we matched Indy with Glenn. because after what in order to get involved in our program, we ask you to fill out an application. We need a letter from your doctor stating that they feel a service dog would benefit you. And then I want to meet the person face to face. I want to see them, meet them. I want them to meet us. Okay? And then from there, I can get a good idea what their personality is like and what type of dog, whether it be a puppy, after knowing their home environment, their work schedule, whether a puppy would be a good choice for them or an adult. An adult dog, like Indy, she's only 11 months, but she's not a 10-week-old puppy. And so knowing that Glenn is an active guy, Indy's a perfect fit for him. We have another gentleman that's a Vietnam veteran, and he doesn't get out as much, and he's not going to moving around like Glenn would. So we got him a really calm golden retriever, and it's a nice fit.
So now it's a long process. How many months is it?
Well, the dog needs to be a minimum of 18 months to be certified. So if we start with a puppy, of course, we're looking at a year and a half. If we start with a young adult, it typically takes at least 6 months to 8 or 10 months to train.
So you have different stages that they go through. And at the end, let me ask you, do you have a graduation ceremony?
Oh, yeah. Yes, in fact, we might be coming back here in May and certifying Glenn and Indy here instead of him coming to California.
Oh, that would be nice.
We've had such a good experience here. It's been amazing. People here in New York have been so good to us. It's fabulous. We've really
Now, can I ask you, have you been basically servicing people on the West Coast? Is East Coast new for you?
First one in New York.
Okay.
It's difficult, a little more difficult for us to work with people out of state just because of obviously the geographic issues and the money, to fly back and forth, because it's important that they train with us. We can't just ship out a dog. I won't just send a dog to somebody and say, here's your dog.
You need an intern. You need somebody on the East Coast that knows how to do what you do.
Well, thank you. You need a job?
I have over an acre of land. And I've had dogs and horses and cats, guinea pigs, rabbits. Oh, no. I'll keep it in mind.
There you go. All right.
Is there a website where somebody can find out more about or help in some way?
Yes. PatrioticServiceDogFoundation.org. So the foundation was founded to help and support Tackett service dogs so we could train more dogs.
Are you a veteran yourself?
I am. I was U.S. Air Force in the Vietnam War, stationed in Thailand, base defense. So it's
I know. So you know that there's the need.
Yes, big time.
And you're doing a wonderful thing. Thank you for coming out tonight. And it's a great time. Now we can have some fun. We have some great music here, and let's go live it up a little bit.
All right, let's have a good time.
Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot.
George Daly, would you please come up to the microphone, and Tom Tackett. All right.
One of our friends in our group back in California designed a challenge coin for Patriotic Service Dog Foundation, and we want to give it out to people that we really feel that have supported and are really behind Patriotic Service Dog Foundation. So, can you hear me? All right, so we have a challenge coin for Glenn. His grandfather served in Vietnam. World War II? Excuse me, World War II. Yeah, baby. And his father, Glenn Sr. So these coins have our logo on them, and then on the back it has our slogan, 22-0. So thank you. Really appreciate your support very, very much. Yeah. Right on. We didn't get one for Indy though, sorry. Hers will be a bone.